But hello. Howdy. Howdy schmowdy. As always, let's wait for the ad to run, and then we'll get started. I'm back. I'm back. What? No, I'm not gonna leave it off with the caption saying, okay, there we go. Alright, once the ad's done, we get started. Whoa! Alright. Alrighty, well hello everybody. Hello. It's been a minute, hasn't it? Hello Vithide. Hello Red Volta. Hello, I was playing Fate. Oh my god, I have to log in. I have to log into Fate Go. I've been using some of your servants. I've been giving you some FP. Some friend points. When I saw your chat name, I was like, wait a minute. I've been playing a little bit of Fate Go. Wait, let me just log in, let me just do my dailies, and then we'll go to the main screen and we'll get started. But hello Matthew, hello Vithide, hello Red Volta, hello Bardawolf. Did I logged in today, right? Yeah, I logged in. Okay, cool. My streak! Okay. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Let's go ahead and go to the main room. 3, 2, 1, whoa! Hello, everyone. Birthday scratch and sniff a sticka? Bardawolf, is it your birthday today? If so, happy birthday! Happy birthday! Nice! I hope today's super chill and enjoyable. Yeah. Nice! Happy birthday! Woo! Happy birthday, Bardawolf! Happy birthday, Bardawolf! Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday, Bardawolf! Woo! Woo woo woo! Nice. Yeah, I hope today's chill, enjoyable. I'll tell you okay, so at work, whenever someone has a birthday, we fill out like a I guess it's similar to like a kudo board, right? Yeah, I'll just say it. It's Padlet, you know. It's a service called Padlet where you just leave nice little messages, right? So whenever someone at work has a birthday, everyone's just like okay, fill out the Padlet, leave your birthday messages, and I tend to leave like the same message, especially if I don't know the coworker that well. Excuse me. Oh no. I actually say like, especially if I don't know them, I'll be like, I hope that today is very chill and relaxing and fun, because you never know if they're the type of person who like wants to party on their birthday. Well, a lot of them are older, so I feel like a lot of them just kind of want to chill, but some of them do, like, you know, they want to go out on the dance floor, you know. So, you know, I try to cover my bases. I try to be like, I hope it's chill, but also enjoyable and festive. If you're having drinks tonight, awesome possum. If not, Also awesome possum. So, yeah, congrats on the solar rotation. Get rotated. Hello everyone. I didn't even do my intro. I have to wait. I need my cheat sheet for my new-ish intro because I keep forgetting it. Okay. Well, hello everyone. I'm Babinka Bear, your local sun bear and art history teacher. Welcome to class. Hello everyone. It's been a minute, hasn't it? First of all, let's get some music going. I was listening to Home earlier. Some chill vaporwave. Let's do that. Let me just make sure that it's playing. Okay, seems like it's playing. Well, hello. I've missed you guys. I miss streaming. I miss teaching stuff. So yeah, I've been away for more than a week. I think the last time I streamed was Fate Go. Not this past Monday, but the Monday before that. It was still August the last time I streamed, right? So yeah, I got sick basically. To explain my absence to the students, I ended up getting sick. I started feeling the symptoms like Wednesday. Like I had a sore throat, you know, and I was like, okay, well, typically when I get sick, it passes within like a day or so. So I should be fine. Like even if I miss like Thursday stream, I should be able to do like Friday, Saturday, right? But man. So Wednesday came and went. I still had to do work stuff. I still had to lead a meeting, but virtually. My boss let me stay home because I told him like I was feeling under the weather, but I still had to like lead a meeting, so I did that. But a lot of my coworkers are very understanding, so I was like, I'm not feeling well, so we're gonna end it off early today. And then they're like, okay. So I rest for the rest of Wednesday. I rest for Thursday. Friday, I'm still sick. And then I think it was Friday. Friday, I'm still sick. So I realized also that when I got a whole bunch of like my doctor's appointments done, I ended up also getting the flu shot. So I was like, it can't be the flu, because I do usually get the flu because I don't get the flu shot. But this time I distinctly remember getting a flu shot. So I was like, wait, what the heck? So if I already got vaccinated for that, what could this be? I decided on a LARF, you know, just to rule it out, to take a COVID test. And y'all, it was positive. I had COVID. I had the bovid. Wait, is there still like a restriction on even saying that word? Uh-oh. I know that like at least on YouTube, wasn't there like a whole thing of like you can't say the PAND-demic word, right? Like you can't say it. That's why everyone was saying that like, oh, the Panera bread, the panorama, you know, like, can you, am I, is John Twitch gonna come over to my class and just like beat me over the head with a baseball bat for saying the C word? Well, I got the COVID, you know. I ended up having that for a while. And man, the last time this isn't the first time I've had C-vid either. This isn't the first time. I had it all the way back in 2021. But the thing is, before that, oh no, Matthew! Taco's gonna get me. Got the plague. Yeah, how about we call it that? What if people like come into stream and they're like, oh my god, Vivinka got bubonic plague. This bear is nasty. She's kind of gross. She got the bubonic plague. No, it's okay. I'll just say the sea plague. How about that? So yeah, this isn't the first time I had it. I had it in 2021. It was it was when I went to Evo for the first time. I went to Evo for the first time, and then we had an Uber driver that was like one of those like the booba plague. No, no. The Sime plague. No, Sime is not a plague. Sime is a blessing. I remember someone in Rancourt got dengue. I saw that too. Excuse me. So as you can hear, I still have a little bit of like remnants of the cough. And I'm still recovering, but I'm pretty sure hello. Good evening, Church. Church, I'm talking about how I had the what are we calling it? The not bubonic plague. The COVID. I was sick. I was sick from Wednesday to this past Wednesday. Wait, what's today? Yeah, this past Wednesday. I'm pretty sure I'm negative, but I haven't gotten tested yet. I haven't tested negative, or we ran out of COVID tests, basically. Because basically, I'm pretty sure Beans gave it to me. Poor guy. I don't know where he got it, but he wasn't feeling well, and then a couple days later, I wasn't feeling well. And then I tested positive, and then he was like, oh, I don't feel my symptoms anymore, but I'm going to test anyway, and he was positive. So we ran out of tests, but I'm pretty sure I'm negative. Like, I haven't had too many coughing attacks recently, but... to go back to 2021, though, like, we had an Uber driver that was like, I don't believe in COVID. I don't believe in it. I don't think it's real. I think it's just a bad cold and everyone's exaggerating. And it's one of those like, crap. Okay, I guess I'm not talking for the rest of this Uber, like, this Uber ride. And then right after that, that trip to Vegas in 2021, I ended up getting COVID. I ended up getting it. And I was like, what if it's the guy? What if it's the Uber driver? What if it's the guy that quote unquote doesn't believe in it? What a bearsterd. But this time around, fast forward to now, last Wednesday, like I said, I wasn't feeling well. Pretty sure I got it from Beans. But he's doing a lot better. He doesn't have any symptoms. I barely have any symptoms. But y'all, like, the last time I was vaccinated was 2021. Which is why, when I got it the first time, when I got the COVID last time, it wasn't that bad. It really was just like a, bad cold with like a lot of coughing. But it's because I got the vaccination, right? This time, it's been so long since I got vaccinated that it whooped my butt. I was suffering, y'all. I was suffering so bad. Like, especially like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so when I first got sick, I was like, I think I could still stream. I think I should be fine. But then as soon as I got the positive, test, I was like, oh no, I'm not gonna be able to stream. And it's a good thing that I opted to like move everything down by a week because... man, it whipped my butt so bad. I was like suffering I was like in bed for like almost 3 days straight. Occasionally I would go up to my desk. I would like take a look at all the Discords I'm in. I would like tune into like the random cord and all that stuff. I would pop in on a couple of streams here and there and just lurk. But otherwise, oh my god, I was freaking suffering. It's no joke. Yeah, like it's not 2020 anymore, but that is no joke. If you are able to get not revaccinated, to like, get the follow-up vaccination, do it. Please. Like, I was like suffering in bed. I was coughing so hard that I was like coughing my lungs out. And like it was also so bad that like I couldn't really sleep at night that much. I got like really bad sleep throughout that entire time. And then, oh man, should I say this part? So on Sunday, I'll say it. On Sunday, I went. I don't want you guys to worry about me, but I'm just saying what happened. Sunday, I went to the emergency room, but it wasn't like I wasn't dying. I simply thought that I was. Yeah. So I woke up with chest pains. Okay, so. That's like the reason why I went to the ER, because I had like chest pain. It wasn't intense. It wasn't like, this is for sure a heart attack. I'm gonna freaking die right now. It wasn't that. It was like a dull pain. But because I have high blood pressure, like, and because I'm on like medication, I like was panicking because I woke up at like 5 in the morning with this chest pain, and I was like Googling all of these things, like, how do I know that this isn't like, is this heart attack or gas? Or like how do I know? And then like because the chest pain like lasted for more than an hour, I started to panic. And like, another symptom is like shortness of breath. And I think because I was panicking, that's why I was like getting the shortness of breath. And I like woke up Beans, and I was like, Beans, the thing is we live like close enough, not like walking distance, but we live close enough to like a hospital. where I was like, can we go to the emergency room? And he was like, oh, like, are you sure? It's like, well, not are you sure? Like, it's not like he didn't care about my health, but it was more of like, you know how much money that is? You know how much money it is to like go to the ER? And he was like, you sure you don't want to like wait it out and wait until like the urgent care? Because we also live relatively close to like an urgent care. He was like, you sure you don't want to wait for urgent care? And I really should have. To be honest, I really should have. Because spoiler alert, it wasn't a heart attack, but I was like really paranoid at the time. I was really like worried because okay, this is gonna be like a teensy bit heavy, but a relative of mine did pass away from a heart attack. And he was not old. He was not that much older than me, which is why like it kind of freaked me out. And just like thinking about the ways that like my family was talking about it, how like, oh, you know what, if this is too heavy, feel free to come back in like 5 minutes. But yeah, I guess like content warning, like death, heart attack. But basically my cousin's dad like dropped him off at the hospital, and because they thought that it like he was also experiencing chest pains. So he dropped him off at the hospital, and then I think the dad went back home to get something, but when he came back it was already too late. Like he was gone. So I kept on thinking about that like within that short of a time it could happen. So like I'm trying to paint a picture as to like why I was panicking. So like because it was like still like 6 a.m, like I opted to like, no, I don't want to wait. Like we should go to the emergency room now, because like, you know, better, I know it's gonna be expensive, but I'll pay for it. Like better safe than sorry, right? So go to the emergency room, and I tell the people at the front desk like all my symptoms. They take my blood pressure, all of that, and they put me in a room. They put me in a room with like the little, you know, hospital gown and everything, and they do all these tests on me. And then, oh my god, I don't know how many of you have ever been to the ER before, but everything takes so freaking long. Like, especially if you're not like dying, like if your vitals are like pretty like somewhat okay. Like we were there for like 8 hours for like a whole shift. Because was it 8 hours? It was like I said, it was like 6 a.m. No, I asked Beans to take me around 6, and then like we kind of hesitated, and I was in the ER by like 7, but we stayed there until like, what is it, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 7 hours. 7 hours. And it's like that was a lesson learned. I'm like, unless I'm like 100% sure that I am dying, like, I am not going back to the ER. But they did a whole bunch of tests on me, and it turned out the chest pain was COVID related. It was like just like an inflammation thing. And I think the big tip off for the doctor is that like even though I had shortness of breath, it wasn't really caused by the chest pain. It was like me panicking, right? He was like, if you have chest pain and it's prolonged and you have shortness of breath, then come back. But otherwise, I think you're okay. So they did all these tests on me, and then, oh my god, like, I think the big thing is that like I got my blood drawn multiple times. I got my blood drawn like multiple times, and like apparently I found, well, I've experienced this before. Every time I go to like the phlebotomist for like blood tests and stuff, they keep saying I have very small veins. Like, and this even goes back to all the way to like high school. I remember one time in high school, people were donating blood, and like silly high school BINKA, I was like, oh man, people are getting out of class to donate blood. You can miss class if I donate blood. I'm gonna go donate some blood. So I remember like going to the gym and like asking them like, oh, like I've never done this before, but can I donate blood? And they were like, yeah, sure, whatever. And then the person who was helping me out, they were like, actually, we can't find your veins, so you can't donate. Small or deep? A lot of nurses have difficulty finding my vein. I think they said that it's small. They said that it was the size rather than the deepness. I think it is because I'm also a little chubby. Because I remember asking Beans, I was like, what do they mean by that? Like, oh god, I joined at the wrong time. I'm sorry, Clyde. We're talking about my my sickness and my experience with the hospital. I'm not dying, and I was not dying, but I was paranoid about something. We can cut this short if you want. We can cut this short, but basically, like, yeah, I'm talking about like getting my blood drawn. Essentially, they were telling me that I have like small veins, and then but yeah, like back in high school, like they couldn't find my veins, so I couldn't donate blood. But that caused some problems because like whenever I go to the phlebotomist to like get a blood draw, that's okay. I can just come back in a bit. I have a phobia of needles. Okay, cool. I mean, not cool, but like, no, cool that I know though. Cool that I know. Yeah, come back in like, I want to say like 5 minutes. 5 minutes, because we're still gonna be yapping for a bit, and then we'll get started. But sorry about that, and thanks for understanding. Mika got the plague. I didn't catch the plague. Okay. Okay, cool. Thumbs up. Okay, so to finish off the story, they oh yeah, so when I usually go to the phlebotomist and get my blood drawn, they usually pick like a vein on my hello, Vasilka. Wait, I recognize your name. You're a fellow Randonite, aren't you? You came in right as I'm talking about getting my blood drawn. Hello, welcome. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for joining the class. So usually when I get my blood drawn, it's usually on my like left arm, and that's pretty painless. Like you just feel like a little pinch and that's it, right? I'm usually pretty good with like, you know, pain tolerance and that. But oh my god, this tested me. This tested me so much because like at a blood draw, like that's fine. But then like because they couldn't find veins and they couldn't reuse the vein that they had used, they started poking into my hands, into the veins in my hands. Oh my gosh. Like, and like I said, my pain tolerance is, I would say it's pretty high. I don't generally like yelp or like, you know, scream or anything like that if I'm in pain. But I do like, you know, grit my teeth and like, you know, squeeze my eyes and stuff like that. But oh my god, when they were like trying to poke through my hand, it hurt so much. I was like, I feel like I feel like a searing pain. I feel like you just put like a I don't know how to say it. It's like you just like branded me, like the way that Randon brands his orbs. You know? Like, oh my god. That hurt. Has to be my right arm, otherwise I never find the vein. Yeah, that's what happened with me. It has to be my left arm, or else they can't find excuse me. They can't find anything. That sucks. I had to get an IV in my wrist when they... I'm so sorry, Matthew. I'm so sorry. Now that I know what that feels like, that hurt. That hurts so much. All right. I think we should cut the story short because I don't think people came to learn about me getting my blood drawn and like all these procedures and stuff. But basically, the long and short of it is that I was there for half the day, for like 7 hours. And then I came back home. I was okay. And then I just kept on recovering little by little. So like, you know, the coughing attacks, they started to peter out. As you can see, I don't cough. I'm still coughing a little bit, but throughout the day, I'm not coughing as much as I was. Before I was like, I'm running out of breath. I can't breathe. Chicken not breathe. Chicken not breathe. But I'm doing a lot better. I'm doing a lot better now. Owen, hello. Hello. Welcome. Owen, I missed you. Wait a minute. I heard that you were talking about bears that one time when I got pinged in the server. Sparkly Rays Cat Raid. Hello. Cielo. Hello. I missed you too. I missed all of you guys. I was talking about being sick with the plague, not bubonic plague, not bubo plague, but the one that starts with a C and ends with a vid. I ended up having that No, definitely didn't talk about bears. Booba plague. Teacher returns from catching Ligma. Oh my god, who the hell is Steve Jobs? Yeah, the reason why I was gone for so long is because I caught the plague. But I'm recovering now. I'm pretty sure I'm negative, but I'm just waiting for Beans to come back home with a test. But yeah, other than that, usually when I'm sick, I'm able to like do stuff. Like the last time I was like sick, I was able to like, you know, work on my layout, my streaming layout, right? This little desk that I'm on, my little whiteboard. I was able to do that. I got rotated. Hello, Gojikins. Hello, Ghosty. Hello. Right, with number that's 2 years away from drinking age. Drinking age. I am well over drinking age. But yeah, so I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm a little low energy, but otherwise I'm good to teach. I'm good to chat with y'all. I missed you guys. How's it going? I'm doing good. I was talking about the plague. I caught the plague that is not bubonic. But yeah, I saw that let's see. I wasn't able to like even tune into a lot of streams other than like Randons and Caspers. And even then I was like, usually I like to be at my computer when I'm catching streams so I could type really quickly in the chat, right? I want to be speed racer. But when I was sick, I was like sitting in bed either on my phone or my iPad. I got through a lot of Fate Go, by the way. Excuse me. At least you made it to the volcano. I sure did. Excuse me. I sure did make it to that volcano. That was unhinged. But when is he not? You know. Let's see what else. There was something I was gonna say about the thing that I got pinged in Just Little Guys. Should I back read? About bears using the toilet. I use a very advanced toilet, okay? And with biodegradable tissue paper called leaves. You know? So I will not take this slant. Oh yeah, the Charmin bears. See, the Charmin bears are like proof positive that bears like they have very advanced toiletry habits. So yeah. Ghosty bear. Thank you for the 2 months. Thank you. Yeah, doing a lot better. I've even like gotten back to work. Oh my god, when I got back to work, it was like the most productive I feel like I've been in months. Like I ended up cleaning. Actually, not even just at work. I ended up cleaning my entire bathroom once I started feeling better. I actually should be cleaning my room as well, but it's pretty clean. It's just like there's stuff on the floor that I should clean, but I cleaned that. My work has like a Google Drive that's been like kind of messy for a couple of like years. I cleaned it. I cleaned that too. I don't know. Yeah, it's like the classic upswing clean everything. Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like a burst of energy. So I'd say that I'm doing a lot better. But how have you guys been? I've been seeing some of you guys around in like the various discords in Randon's chat, like a wake up super. Exactly. There was something else I was gonna say. Oh yeah, did you guys get your stickers? Get your stickers. I you know what? I was scrolling up. I just got what Barda Wolf was saying. The number that's two away from the drinking age. Yeah, that plague. That plague. I'm EP. Lots of things happening in Ghosty and Goji World. Too much travel. Ooh, travel. Yo, so I have my next trip is to the Philippines in like the end of this year, but me and Beans are also planning for our next trip together as well. Oh, not the fun kind. Okay, sorry about that. I hope everything is well, or everything, you know, is smooth at the very least. Ah, medical and government. Yeah, so we were just chatting about that too. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you. We'll be good once done. Ah, okay. 1,000. Hello. Welcome. We haven't gotten started with the lesson yet. I've been yapping. Yeah, the spark notes for those who missed it is that I ended up with the plague, the CVID 18 plus 1, you know. And then yeah, I got some tests done and all that stuff. But I'm doing a lot better. Back at work. Well, not physically. I still stayed home today, but and Wednesday. But other than that, what have I been doing? I haven't even been doing a lot of art. I've just been playing Fate Go. I got up to the end of Anastasia. What else? What else? Oh, I've started me and B. Oh yeah. So another thing is like because of his CVID 18 plus 1. Oh no, maybe I shouldn't have said it that way. But yes. So me and Beans have been wanting to eat healthier because of like the health scares recently. And one thing that we started doing is making rice balls. I don't know if that's really healthy because it has a lot of, you know, rice and like, you know, rice can be very fattening. But at the same time, like we just have a lot of oil in our diet. Like we eat a lot of oily things, right? So we're thinking like you know, maybe it's like some rice balls or like we've been into like Korean food lately. If it's homemade, then it's already a step up. Oh, true. It's a lot of balls. I like rice balls. There was this like Japanese market near us. It just popped up recently, and we got like rice balls from that, and it was so simple, right? It's just like rice, furikake, and tuna, and but it tasted so good. Oh, and seaweed. It tasted so good, so it's like, oh, why don't we just make our own thing? So we did that. We're still experimenting because like shaping it into that little triangle and like the consistency of the rice, all those things like we're still getting used to. But we also not recently, but we also made like gimbap, which is like I guess like the Korean sushi. It's like what's in it? So there's like carrots, cucumbers. We use impossible meat because you know vegan. And then what else? There's like the daikon radish. Is it daikon radish? Yeah, all that together, it's so good. It's just that it's not too intensive to make, but it's more than we're used to. And the thing is, like, even when we're both working at home, we're both really busy. So it's just a matter of like getting time out of our day to actually like cook and put it all together, right? When unsure, just simply make a rice cube. Wait, that is an idea. Like, why go with the quintessential like triangle shape, right? The jelly donut shape from Pokemon. You gotta just make the rice cube. It's true. We could maybe we could use like, you know, the ice cube containers. Those are some ideas. The jelly donut. I mean, that's what Brock calls it. Who am I to question the guy? We use a cookie cutter? We don't have any cookie cutters. We're a boring family. Well, not really. It's just that Beans' mom likes to keep the kitchen very like minimalist, you know? Which is a little bit of the opposite of how I grew up because like she likes the counters to be like clear of everything. Whereas like I want at least soy sauce to be there to be like readily available. And the rice cooker. That's another thing is like I grew up with like the rice cooker is always out and it's always cooking rice. Always. But Beans' mom does not like the rice cooker being out. Like it's just to her it just seems too cluttered, which I understand. But it's just weird to not have rice readily available. I'm just so used to it, you know? We were all so confused about how did they think they could pull a fast one on us. I love Babish making donuts, yeah. Do you remember though, Owen? There was an episode where they like speaking of like the censorship in Pokemon, not just Owen, but like anyone. Do you guys remember there was a Pokemon episode where like they turned like they obviously have that scene where they call the rice ball a jelly donut, but there was another scene where they censored it by literally putting an image of a sandwich over the rice ball. No, only Owen. No. I remember watching it back when Pokemon was on like Kids WB. There was like a character who like dropped a rice ball, but I don't remember. But it's a wild, yeah. Like in the dub, it was like this one episode character dropped like a sandwich, and it's a little like PNG, or I guess back then it would have been like a JPEG of a sandwich rolling down a hill. But in the sub, like it's a rice ball, and even as a kid, before I even knew about like too much about like censorship in Pokemon, I knew that something was off with that. Yeah, I think it was the Hoenn series. You know what? I don't think it was like a one episode character. I think it was a reoccurring character. I'm actually gonna look for it now. This is gonna bug me if I don't. Okay, Pokemon sandwich rice ball. Oh, I found it. That's a big rice ball. What the heck? Okay, we're gonna watch it together. Let me just turn off the music. Okay, and then after this I think we can get started unless we want to yap a little bit. Are we doing Digimon movies tomorrow night? Yes, we are. Yes. Thank you for the reminder. I will also send out a reminder tomorrow morning as well. Heck yeah. Okay, you guys ready? That's a big rice ball, isn't it? It's kind of loud. So it's a big rice ball, right? It's a sandwich. It's a sandwich. Sandwich gigante. It's un sandwich gigante. Oh my god. Es un sandwich gigante. I can't. I can't laugh too hard or else I'm gonna cough. Oh my god. How does a sandwich roll down a hill anyway? I'll show you. I'll show you. I want to see it again. It's like strictly vertical. It's just so vertical. I know it's because it's trying to cover up the rice ball, right? But like, oh my god, Mega Bronze. Don't worry, I'm gonna catch up on chat. I know I missed like a handful of messages, but check this ish out. We're looking at censorship. Look. One more time. Look. Okay, big rice ball. Big rice ball makes sense, right? You guys ready for the sandwich gigante? Snorunt is super cute. Ready? ¿Qué pasa? The sandwich gigante. That's what I mean. Rubber sandwich. Okay, what were you guys talking about? What are you guys talking about? In Owen we trust. Yeah, I do trust Owen. In Owen we trust. In the Hoenn series, yeah. Owen got the answer. 10 points to Gryffindor. He ended up as a rival in champ. Oh, okay, yeah, because he looks familiar. That like samurai-looking character. Let's see. Alexa by Rice Balls by Francis of the Filth. I'll give that one a check out. I definitely wasn't watching Pokemon by the time this came out. Yeah, you know what? I think this is like I was a little older by this point. I just don't remember like when did this come out actually? If it's Hoenn. I played the Hoenn games in middle school, but when did the Hoenn anime come out? I think by then I was probably in high school already. So I knew about censorship, but there was something about like the PNG, the JPEG that looked off to me. You know? Let's see. It's a $5 footlong from Subway. Sandwich gigante. A whole ass Dagwood. This kills the bear. It did in fact kill the bear. This kills the man. Snorunt is cute. I love the what's the name of the evolution of Snorunt that turns into like a Yuki Onna, like the snow woman? I remember that was one of my favorites back when I played the games. It's just Poe goes down the hill. Didn't they have rice balls in the earlier episode? You mean a jelly donut, Mega Bronson? I think you're talking about a jelly donut. It's funny because that's what got us to this conversation is me and Beans are trying to like make our own rice balls, basically. But because he's vegan, his fillings are cucumber. Well, the last time we tried it, it was cucumber, but I started watching a lot more YouTube shorts, especially when I was sick in bed. So I was watching a lot of YouTube shorts, and there was like recipes for like rice balls, and like a good vegan option that I do want to try out is chickpea, and you like mash it. Isn't that hummus? Isn't hummus just chickpeas mashed up? But I want to try that as like a filling. That sounds like it'd be good. My bad. Oh, no worries, no worries. Frostlass. Yeah, that's the Pokemon. That's the Pokemon. Welcome back, Clyde. Welcome back. Chickpeas and tahini. Okay. Oh, ground tofu. And make it like spicy tuna. We do have chili oil. We do have, oh my god, I love Lao Gan Ma so much. If you guys have never had Lao Gan Ma chili oil, the one that John Cena, do you guys know that John Cena can like fluently speak Chinese, by the way? I don't know, I just remember that one video of him like talking about Lao Gan Ma, and it's just like kind of impressive. Let's see, Lao Gan Ma balls, no, got him. Might be good with avocado. Yeah, and we have avocado too. Yeah, so chickpeas, avocado, I think that'd be good like vegan option. I have a lot of tuna. But the thing is, like, I feel like that will make it not as healthy anymore, right? Because the goal is to eat healthier. The doctor told me like to lay off, you know, the sweet foods and the fatty foods. So I can't give up rice though. I know rice is very fattening, but I'm Asian. Like, it's so hard. It's so hard for me to do that. What else am I supposed to eat with like the protein, right? You can always have some tuna. Yeah, I love the tunas. The tunes. And salmon. I love it. Bing chillin'. Yeah, Lao Gan Ma. I love Lao Gan Ma so much. Okay, one more video. Rice is fattening? That's what I heard. I have an aunt that she got really skinny. Not in like a eating disorder type of way, but like a but she lost a lot of weight, and she said that it's because she stopped eating rice. And I'm like, how? How'd you give up rice? Doctor should stop telling us to stop eating rice. Rice is sugary. Is that it? Is that the reason why it's fattening and not as healthy? Danchi, hello. Rice isn't fattening, it's just a carb. Ah, okay. You guys need to tell me about like I guess like the food science behind these things, because I get confusion easily with like what can I, what can't I eat? Because as I'm talking about like, oh, I need to eat healthier. By the way, me and Bean started making rice balls. Like a part of me is like, oh, is that not super healthy? Actually, now that I think about it. Rice converts to sugar. I've been riceless for the chat's going. Okay. Riceless for a couple weeks now. It's been miserable. You see, guys, you see? It's just not possible for Filipinos such as myself and Mega Bronson to give up on rice. Never mind that my aunt did it. Never mind that a lot of people are probably doing it. But like, I need rice. I just, what am I gonna do without it? I'm gonna get my emotes out. What am I gonna do without my rice? Especially with vinegar. Ah! Every food is fattening. It's true. It's true. How am I supposed to enjoy myself? How am I supposed to live? Well, you know, the doctor also made it very clear that if I don't cut it out, there will be no there will be no living in this household. Rice is life. I'm just on a low carb diet. Maybe I should do something like that. Eating healthy is about moderation. You can eat anything and eat healthy. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like I said, I've been on YouTube Shorts a lot. Like it's my alternative to the Tiki Detox. Especially when I was sick in bed, I was watching a lot of them, and one that popped up. I don't know if this pops up on anyone else's feed, but it's a dietitian. I don't know if she's Filipino or or another type of East and or Southeast Asian. But she's a dietitian, and her whole thing is like not necessarily taking away things, but adding things to make a meal like a little bit healthier and just more balanced. So it's like, oh, if you're gonna eat spam, like eat veggies with it, right? I miss spam too. I also really miss spam. I avoid health YouTube. I don't know if would she. Well, yeah, I guess she's a dietitian. So, because yeah, some of them could be like crackpots, right? Some of them could be like, you know, very predatory in that way. I should lose like 50 pounds, but balancing mental and financial is hard. It's true. It's true. For me, excuse me. Sorry about that. For me and Beans, it's time. Time is like our big thing because like we have the finances to support like a good diet. It's just that neither of us have time to cook. We're both like really busy with work even when we don't die. Sorry. I have water next to me. Yeah, like it's mostly time. Where we're both like in meetings all day, or we're really busy with like a certain task, and like it's hard. So I think it's just making time for it or doing meal prep. We've always wanted to do meal prep, but like for me, I'm also very picky about I guess like I'm very paranoid about when food spoils because I've gotten like food poisoning so many times that I'm like, I don't want this anymore. I don't want like, cause so I don't I try not to risk it. Basically, I try not to like. I keep talking about how much I love rice, right? But if it's like any older than 2 days, I won't eat it. Unless it's like fried rice, but I don't know. I just get like very paranoid with that. What you guys saying in the chat? What you guys saying? I don't trust any doctor that acts like eating anything but ice is bad for you. Oh my gosh. It's like the ice soup. You guys just gotta eat ice soup and then you'll be perfectly healthy, right? I was losing hella weight by eating pizza last week. You should just eat varied and get your vitamin. Okay. Get varied and get your vitamins. That's true, because I eat the same thing every day. I eat noodles and like rice and tuna. I just starved myself from stress. I lost 5 pounds this year. Oh my gosh. My cooking is usually based about budgeting. Okay. But don't die. Yeah, I won't die. Before the job change, Owen. High five. Nice. Not eating is a recipe for unhappiness. Cooking is tough. Meetings all day is the worst. Oh my god, the all day meetings. The all day meetings that I don't need to be in. But for some reason, I'm in. Go with 7 days in the fridge at most. Not eating is never ever the solution. Not eating is like out of the question. Very true. No. It's very true. Like, because that's just the recipe for suffering, right? Like, that's why I do kind of like that one dietitian on the tubes, you know? Like, I know we should be like very critical about our sources, right? We should be critical about it, but the whole thing about her being like, you don't necessarily need to take anything out of your diet. You just need to like make it more balanced, right? I kind of vibe with that. I think that's a good idea. Because I'm not completely veggie phobic, you know. There are veggies that I really like. I love broccoli, for example. I like spring onions. I like spinach, especially if it's like accompanying like some kind of protein. I can't stand the idea of wasting food, so I eat too much. Yeah, that's what I also don't like wasting food, so like I try to eat it a little too much. Fresh food or else. Yeah, don't forget you drink too much water. Without food, you get water toxicity. Yeah, true. Just move around best you can and keep doing what you're doing. Never subtract eating for any reason. I will cry. Yeah, the doctor, he didn't say like don't starve yourself. He didn't say like starve yourself. He just said like cut out the fatty foods and the sugary foods. So like I said, that's hard, but I do wonder if it's just a matter of like, yeah, just moderation, don't overeat, counting carbs, you know. And I do need to just be a little bit more active. I think that's the big thing too, is like I am very, unless I'm like For the most part, I'm pretty sedentary. But me and Beans have also been trying to do walks. We try to do walks in the morning. Veggies are good. I didn't grow up eating veggies, so like for a long time I was a veggie hater, right? But as I grew up, I started appreciating a lot more veggies. Like peppers, green peppers, man. Green peppers, broccoli, spinach, kale if it's cooked right. Oh my god. One of my favorite things is broccolini, especially if it's like cooked just right. So good. I'd argue for cutting out soda and cut back on potato chips is a good place to start. Yeah, I actually don't drink soda anymore. That used to be... Oh my god, do you guys want to know how bad it is? When I was a kid, my grandma like took care of me when my mom was busy. And in order to get me to stop crying, she would give me... I don't even know how old I was. She gave me a baby bottle with soda. She would give me a baby bottle with soda just to make me stop crying. So that's one of the origins of why there's so much dang sugar in my body. I've been doing roasted veggies. Ooh, that sounds good. I think a lot of doctors see a not thin person and the easy answer is you're fat and then ask you to pay 1K. True. You gotta avoid eating too much. I understand those are female persuasion have a tougher time. Yeah. I appreciate the help, y'all. I appreciate the words of advice. Green peppers are a fruit. Green peppers... Wait, really? Like, is it like how tomatoes are a fruit? People can be too strict with food, though. It's not perfect math. Eat veggies if it's just on burgers. This is very helpful. This is super helpful. I haven't even gotten started with the lesson yet. I'll start it soon. We'll start it soon. We'll start wrapping up this conversation, and we'll get into spice. Been walking whenever it's cool enough, and it's been great. Yeah, I want to get more walking done. I want to get a little bit more walking done, even if it's to like the nearby coffee shop, you know. I heard a mom grandma giving kid tequila to make their kid pass out. My grandma put rum in there. Oh my goodness. If it has seeds, it's a fruit. Oh, you're right. So does it mean jalapenos and like all the like those are all those are all fruits? I didn't even think about it that way. Rum in your juice, Clyde. Oh my gosh. See, that's where like that's where my relatives kind of drew the line. Like, I did not have my first taste of alcohol until I was like in high school. And I remember too. I remember like a kid gave me not a kid, like I think I was like a sophomore at the time, and I used to hang out with like juniors and seniors because I thought it was cool. Because I was a pick-me. So I would like hang out with them, and one time they were like, "Hey, Binka, take a sip of this water bottle," and it wasn't water. It wasn't water. I remember spitting it out and being like, "You just give me rubbing alcohol." Like, did you just give me rubbing alcohol? It tastes like crap. And then it turned out to be vodka, and that was my very first taste of alcohol. So yeah, at the very least, my parents never like, you know, snuck in any of that stuff into my drinks. They just gave me, or rather my grandma just gave me a bottle full of soda, Coca-Cola. And then when I got a little bit older, I remember, okay, so one thing about me is it took me a while to get off the bottle, like the baby bottle. Because I vividly remember like my mom telling me to like make my own strawberry milk. And it was like she would give me like the bottle, I would fill it up with like milk, and then I would like put the strawberry milk mix, like the powder mix, in it and like put it in the microwave. Like the fact that I remember doing that means that I was on the baby bottle for a while. You guys are getting a little bit of lore drops today. Walking is so base. Free workout? It's true. It's so easy. You just take a walk around your neighborhood, right? And I'm with Beans, so like, you know, safety isn't that much of an issue in our neighborhood when it comes to walking. Peppers or fruits. Oh, man. Walking is dope AF. Your legs and back are your largest muscle groups, so if you want to lose weight fast, hit those areas. I did do a lot of walking when I was at the schools, and the schools are gonna get set up again soon. I actually am gonna be back at the schools doing a little bit more walking, so I definitely need the back support because my my chest it's heavy. Not a pygmy. Total step count last year was 3.6 million. Yo, good job, Donshi. That sucks. Sorry, Binka. Sorry about me being on the bottle for a while. I know I'm like back reading, right? But like, or was it sorry about not drinking alcohol until I was a teenager? I never had an interest or taste for it. I am a cocktail type of person. I don't like the taste of alcohol. But I do like a good cocktail. I do like a good Midori sour, or well, I guess that's not a cocktail, but like anything with Midori sour. I like the sweet stuff, which is why I'm in this predicament, right? That's why we're having this talk about how I need to be more healthy because in the past I have not treated my body very healthily. Milky, hello. Class, that's called a glory hole jar. We could actually get started soon, but I think an ad is gonna play soon. You see the hole? You see it? We're gonna be talking about space today. Space? Better be another hole somewhere. Vacuum seal otherwise. I saw this this object IRL. This was actually at a museum. This is actually my picture. Like, this is actually me. This is what I look like. No, I'm just kidding. But I think there is a hole on the other side. No, is there? Yeah. There is. There's a hole on the other side. There is. Gotta get those deadlifts in. Ooh, maybe. I did want to. The last time we were the last time me and Beans went really hard at the gym, like we would go like every day. We were getting into like weightlifting, but that was like a couple years ago. Okay, I think if you know what, I'll make an ad play like not automatic. I'll just force an ad right now, and then we'll get into class. But hello. You mean the last place that was sadly corrupted by capital? Yeah. The last place uncorrupted by capitalism. Spice. Thank you for the gigantified emote, Matthew. All right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and make an ad play, and then we'll get started with class. I think I yapped for long enough, wouldn't you say? Not even he could keep it. That's my favorite clip too. It's like him not being able to keep a straight face. All right, if you guys aren't subscribed, enjoy the ads. If you are subscribed, we'll go to the PE field. Let's go to the PE field. There you go. Oh, it's it's still being used as a parking lot. That's fine. Okay, let's go ahead and play an ad, and I'll see you guys after. There we go. Let's see. Now, you know what? I'm just gonna hydrate. I'm gonna hydrate before we get started on this. So, you guys have fun in the parking lot. I mean, the PE field. And we'll be back. Okay, it seems like we're back, right? You guys attacking each other? Milky's attacking people. Hug Mr. Pancakes. Alright, did you guys get your fill of the PE fill? PE fill? Did you guys get your fill of the PE field? There we go. In the parking lot. You guys like the Itasha? I'm a good girl. You are a good girl. You're good, Milky. Alright, let's start class, shall we? Those PE feels. You guys get your PE feels in? Miss Teacher Formux is biting people. Oh no. I don't know if like do BINKAs have like their own version of like rabies, right? Like, it's like delicious rice cake rabies. All right, it's been an hour. We've been yapping for an hour. She's got cooties. Oh no. It's okay. You just have to cross your fingers. Isn't that the antidote? Okay, so today is a lesson day. We are going to be talking about art appreciation, and this is actually the last topic for this series that I've been doing. This like BINKA Teaches Art Appreciation series. It's all about the last place uncorrupted by Bibinkism, space, but not like outer space. Even though I have like this whole like spacesuit on, it's space in an art context. So we're gonna be talking about it. Don't think so, but we hunger for the automotive. She's trying to snatch my cool jacket off of me. Oh no, the unruly class strikes again. Oh no, spice. But yeah, so let's do a little bit of I like this. We're gonna come back to this vessel. This isn't the last you've seen of this guy right here. We're gonna come back to him, but let's go ahead and do a little bit of review. This is all the stuff that we've gone over with this whole series, this whole like art appreciation series, and the goal of the series is to just give you guys a little bit more confidence in looking at art and just like analyzing and like commenting on it. So like the next time you see an art piece, it's not just like, oh, it looks cool. Now you can talk about like the lines and the shapes. Instead of reading it off, I feel like I've read this slide off many times. You can read it for yourself, but you know, lines and shapes, they affect how we like see things, right? Forms are 3D shapes. We talked a little bit about like different mediums like clay and plastic and all that. Value is basically dark and light, and generally you want like good contrast between dark and light, but sometimes like if you don't have that contrast, it could also be used for really cool effects. We can't read. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, well, lines, shapes are things. Forms are 3D shapes. Value is light and dark. And that's the last of the review. We went through a lot these past couple of months. So we looked at colors at one point. We're talking about like how colors can be cool or warm. And you know, if you use a lot of blue, sometimes that means it's really sad, but that's not this isn't like all of these rules that I'm talking about. They can all be broken in interesting ways. So blue doesn't always mean sad. That's what that means basically. Now texture is like the way that you can if you have texture in your artwork, it gives a feel to it. It makes it look like you can reach out and touch it. So you know, you can make a piece of art look fluffy or soft or smooth, scaly or bumpy. And what we went over last time was that you don't necessarily need specialized tools for it. Like in the case of digital art, we were talking about like you can make these textures with a very basic brush, but if you have like a specialized brush as well, that just makes it easier. And like that's less strain on you. So there's benefits to using general tools and specialized tools. I know that Milky in the chat right now, like you're a huge proponent of like get a good brush, right? Especially for digital art. It's super helpful. But there's also other folks that are like get the basics down with your basic brush, and then you can really enjoy the specialized brushes. Your own persona. Textures. Yeah. Textures. Hold on, I gotta cough again. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. So we looked at line, shape, form, value, color, texture, and now is the very last thing, which is space, the final frontier. So what do I... Oh, wait, did the song also just say space right now? So, what is space? A lot of you know about outer space, right? But space is basically just like the space around you, the area that surrounds you, right? It's the same in art. So, if you think about it, I've never heard of outer space. Never in my life. You guys are talking about Uranus? Disgusting. We appear to be surrounded. Space, well, because then you could get into some real like metaphysical things, like what is space, and it's basically like, you know, what is time in space, but like space is basically like the things around you, But in the context of art, it's for 2D art, it's the canvas, right? For 3D art, it is kind of like the material itself, or what surrounds the material. Space is a bar on the board. Exactly, Gojikins, exactly. But basically, moving forward, for the most part, we're going to be talking about 2D art, but there are going to be instances of 3D art as well. What is time? Spice. So let's take this artwork, for example. This is by one of my favorite artists. I'm not as passionate about him as I was in like my 20s, but Salvador Dali. Salvador Dali, he is a Spanish artist. A surrealist artist. That painting gave me nightmares as a child. Yeah, freaking Dali. He's a character. He's an interesting one. He's all about like, he's very quirky. He's very quirky. He's the guy with the mustache. He's the guy with like the mustache that kind of like is very spindly, right? And he specializes in like surreal art. And the thing with surreal art is that it's kind of like weird art. It's like intentionally strange art, but the kind of point, not the point, but like the kind of like main thing with surrealist art is that it's not necessarily strange for the sake of being strange. A lot of artists, especially around like the time of like the I want to say like 30s through 50s, the point was to emulate a dream. And, you know, like when you think of your dreams, sometimes they don't make a lot of sense. Like sometimes you'll be like smack dab in the middle of something and it'll make sense to you in the moment. But when you wake up and you try to like write down the dream or explain it to someone else, you'll be like, wait, why was I going to Boston again? Why was I trying to catch the train and got worried that I couldn't catch the train to Boston? Why was I doing that? Whereas in the dream, it's like, oh yeah, totally. I'm catching the train to Boston to meet a caterpillar and all of those things, right? So that's what surrealism is. It's kind of like that nonsensical, like dream-like state, but they were trying to kind of put that in a painting. So, like, if you look at this painting right here, this is the Temptation of Saint Anthony, and it's interesting because this is an actual like religious topic that you see in other paintings. If I recall correctly, the Temptation of Saint Anthony, and anyone could correct me if I'm wrong, but Saint Anthony was like lost in the desert and he was tempted by the devil to like, you know, indulge in sins and whatnot, and he was like hallucinating in the desert. So older artists, like Renaissance artists, they would usually just paint like a dude like in the desert and he's surrounded by like hellish things, right? Now we get this surrealist artist from like the 1940s, Salvador Dali. His rendition is like the hallucination itself. So there's Saint Anthony, we're presuming, because he's holding the cross, he has a halo, and he's seeing these like fantastical visions of like horses, elephants on stilts, and things in the distance, but there's nothing else on the horizon other than some mountains. They have buildings on top of them. There's booba in the buildings. It's like, what the heck is going on here? It's not just for the sake of being weird. It's to emulate a dream. And I think this topic makes sense because it's supposed to be a hallucination. I get the feeling that Terry Gilliam took notes from him. Most likely. Most likely. So all that to let's go back to the topic at hand. I kind of got a little too into like Dali over here, but space is like this whole area, this whole canvas, right? But you could subdivide this whole canvas into various things. So for one, Usually this includes, space includes a foreground, a midground, and the background. What this means is that your foreground is whatever's the closest to you. So in this painting, let's say that you're in the painting. What is the closest thing to you, or what appears to be the closest thing? Depth. Exactly, depth. So to me, at least, this looks like the closest thing to us because of like little tricks like perspective and stuff. Like, yeah, these things are a lot bigger, but because there's a horizon and because they're casting shadows, those are little hints that make it seem like they're further away. Meanwhile, the saint over here, Saint Anthony, is actually like close. It looks like he's the closest to us. His mustache was for the sake of being weird, I'm pretty sure. I think you might be right with that. The rock in the bottom right. Yeah, that too, actually. Look at this rock. I think his leg is under the rock, right? And then it's followed by whatever's in the middle, right? So this is the so this is the foreground. This is the midground. This is kind of like the middle of the canvas. It's actually easier to talk about midground once you've gone over the background. So a lot of you have probably heard the term background at least, but it's like kind of what's furthest away from you. So if foreground is what's closest, background is what's furthest. So what looks furthest here, at least to me, is actually these little mountains in the back here, or what you can interpret as mountains, because they're really small. They're mountain shaped, but they're right next to the horizon and they're very small. So to me, that looks like that's the background. You can also argue that like the sky is the background, the clouds, this elephant over here, this elephant like on stilts over here, that might also be the furthest. But all those things can be considered background. So you have the foreground, you have the background. Everything in between is the midground. Four milks, back milks. The rock on the... Oh, that's the left. I'm sorry. I mix up my left and my right all the time. Here we go. There's a rock here. I didn't even notice that. That's the closest to us. That's the closest. The rock represents Dali not wanting to paint that foot. So real. That's so real. The mountains and the little rock draw a diagonal. You're right. We look at the rocks here and then you go here. It's a diagonal. Imagine clipping into the back milks. But I feel like the backrooms are also an example of like surrealist art in a way. It's very dreamlike, right? All the liminal space stuff, it's very dreamlike. So yeah, I chose this because it's a good example of like foreground, background, and then everything like these figures are midground. So yeah, there's simpler art that you could use for this for this example, but that's what I wanted to go into. Okay. There's another way that you could divide space, and that's with positive and negative space. So positive, simply said, oh, you know what? This is actually like, this is a more complex example of it. Maybe I need like a simpler one. Give me a second. Give me a darn second here. I'm actually gonna grab the sample from when we made a guide for Randon. No! Spoilers! Here you go. Oh! It's so big. This is what we made like for Randon. Let's put that there. Okay, slideshow. Oh no, it's kind of cut off. Okay, give me a second. Calling their ground mid is savage? Oh no. Sun Tzu approves. The painting is a witch. Burn it! No! Okay, so let's use this example first. So positive and negative. Positive is just basically like your subject. In more complex works, it's like the point of interest. This is just a nice simple one. So Shmoopy over here and Orby, they're the positive space because they're the subject. Everything around them is the negative space. So simple, right? Like the background is negative, this is positive. If we go back to the Salvador Dali one, I would say that over here, Saint Anthony and then all these figures, they're the positive space. And everything around them is the negative space. But you know, it's not necessarily like a right or wrong. Like, you know, is this positive space? Is this negative space? You know, sometimes it can be kind of hard, especially like with these clouds too. But usually positive space is like the subject or anything that is a point of interest, whatever is kind of like central to the painting. Negative space is everything else. But as you can see, there's artists that play around with that. So this is actually one of my favorite artists. This is Rob Gonsalves. I think he passed away like in 2017, but all of his art was about this, just like playing around with this concept of like negative and positive space. Classic Animorphs boat. So yeah, negative space can be as simple as a white background, but it can also be very complex. So as you can see, uh-oh, my nose is getting stuffed up. If we go over to like the left side, you see like all these clouds and then what looks like an aqueduct, right? Like a structure to carry water. And the background is the clouds, right? It's these like yellow white clouds with like the blue sky. And then there's an ocean, and then there's also like these pillars for the aqueduct. So that's an example of like, this is the positive space and the sky is the negative space. However, as that aqueduct gets further and further to the right side, suddenly it's not an aqueduct anymore. It's the sky. And the gaps between them, these clouds, what was the background is now becoming the foreground. So the negative space becomes the positive becomes the negative, the background becomes the foreground, all that stuff. So this is what I mean, that like there's art that kind of plays around with this. It's pretty cool. We're gonna look at a little bit more of his work later on too, because he's one of my favorites. It's like these fun like illusions basically. Now the question is, how do you fill up the positive and negative space? Are you a fan of minimalism or maximalism? There's different ways to arrange positive and negative space. And it's also different depending on whether you are either the artist creating the artwork or whether you're like me, an art historian who's looking at the artwork. There are times where you might prefer the minimalist approach where like, this is a photograph by Robert Adams. Where like, I would consider this pretty minimalist because like, the main subject is like these houses, right? Everything else is like this big old sky and this big old street, right? Very minimalist in my opinion. So you could fill your artwork with like a lot of white space. That's actually the default with a lot of my art, is just like white space like this, right? I'm too lazy to put a background. Yes, horror vacuuming, my beloved. We're gonna talk about that too. Well, not that specific term, but like, do you prefer this, right, where it's like kind of minimal and like there's more negative space than positive space, or do you prefer it to be kind of broken up? So for example, here is another photo by Albert Renger-Potch. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Depends on how hyper focused I am. Yeah, me too, because I find myself like, I used to be very much into like minimalism, right? I still kind of am to some degree, but there are times where like, when you see art where like every little spot is filled up, it's very satisfying. It's very satisfying. I'm going to show an example in a bit, but this is just kind of like another example of like, there is a lot of negative space, but it's kind of broken up by like the topic here, the positive space by the subject, which is these like high tension wires. So it's up to you. There is no right or wrong really. It's a matter of preference. So do you prefer something like this or do you prefer something like this? Here's another one for you. I went to this really cool exhibit a couple months ago that was comparing Greek pottery with Maya pottery with Moche pottery. And we talked about Moche before. They make like mandala filled with additional mandala. Yes, exactly. So this is a Greek work over here where you can see that like for the most part it's black. But it has figures here. It has figures in orange. Right? No, not mochi. It's moche. It's moche. It's like a Peruvian indigenous group. But yeah, this is a oil jar with satyr and sphinx. This is a Greek pottery. Mostly black, but you have these orange figures. But there's a lot of black space, like in between them and over here and over here. So this one feels a little bit more minimalist. However, let's go over here to the moche one. I wonder if we can... Nah, I don't think we can zoom in on it. But like this is like very maximalist, I would say. Let me just let me see if I can get like a better picture. It's like called Fine Line Moche. I guess there's a book. There we go. It's like the what Milky mentioned in chat, that term horror vacui is like basically it's like filling every single inch of like an artwork with detail, with like fine detail. And that's kind of what this is right here. Moche vessels, like there's moche vessels of different styles, right? But like this one in particular, this style of San Jose de Moro, it's like that. It's like it's filled to the brim with like so much detail. And it's not even just random abstract design either. There's actually figures in here. I don't know if you can actually see it. Wait, I actually have to cough. Hello, Roka Brave. Hello, welcome, welcome. The amount of artifacts lost from the Middle East thanks to unbelievable reasons is immense. It's true. That's one of the first things I learned when I like first started taking art history is this thing called like iconoclasm or iconoclasty, where like people will just destroy artifacts and like monuments and stuff for, like you said, unbelievable reasons. It's true. It's very unfortunate. Are they both done with slip or is it on like glaze? I'm actually not 100% sure. I want to say... Let's see. Ceramic vessels. I have the information for this one too. Let me... But it's on like my personal account, so I have to like open up I have to open up another window. Like, give me a second. I have all these like albums. Stirrup spout. It doesn't say, but the information I have here is the dense imagery on this vessel requires close looking, while other features invite touch and movement. Sculptural frogs squat below a hollow tube that runs through the center of the vase, and a curious viewer will find a warrior duck painted on the underside. I didn't get a picture of the warrior duck. Oh no! The best preserved ancient city of Palmyra is gone, and it happened less than 20 years ago. That's so unfortunate. I know there was like some huge monumental statues of like the Buddha in, I want to say, Afghanistan as well, but they were blown up. So more meant the two examples on the side. The slipper glaze. I'm actually not sure. I'm actually not 100% sure. Oh no. Okay, there we go. I tried to zoom in. But that did give us a little bit of information about this. So there is a hole that goes all the way through. And there is a duck on the underside. But I didn't get a picture of it. But good questions all around. Good questions. So yeah, what do you guys prefer? What do you guys prefer? You can feel free to like answer in the chat. I did also want to test out... Can I test out like a poll? Let's get dangerous. I've never done a poll before. Darkwing duck. I do have a picture. But let me give me a second. Poll management. Create a new poll. Okay, which I'm doing this to just test it out. Which vessel style do you prefer? So we can either have the Greek vessel, kind of minimalist. Oh, you know what? This is left. Or the moche vessel on the right. Duration 1 minute. That's as short as I can make it. Okay. Start poll. There we go. I think that went through. Yay, I did my first poll. Okay, while you guys answer that, I'm gonna see if I have the picture of the duck. Cause I got a picture of like another duck. Oh my god! This is awesome. Okay, give me a second. Let me just make sure that there's no like reflections. I don't think I can get doxed from this. All right, give me a second. This one's awesome. Okay. Ah, you guys prefer the moche vessel. Nice. Guys, look at the duck. Look at the duck. This is another moche vessel with like I think this is a dark-winged duck. Little duck. View results. Okay, one person voted for the Greek vessel. Very nice, very nice. Cool, cool. Yeah, thanks for participating in that poll. That's awesome. Quacking noises. I know, I had to cover up the other one with it, but isn't it cool? I like it. Yeah, this exhibit isn't up anymore, but it was pretty cool. It like compared Maya vessels to moche to Greek vessel. It was really cool. It was really cool. But yeah, it seems like you guys prefer this one where there's like all of the space is occupied by artwork, basically. Quacking noises. Red is perfect for workouts. It's true. It's true. I feel like you could just slip your wait, like I gotta press escape again. I'll just it'll have its own page. There we go. Now you can see it in all its beauty. Okay, not too many slides after this. Not too many. All right, silhouette. Silhouette. So a good silhouette is an example of using positive and negative space. And I, of course, put in a GIF of Bad Apple. The infamous Bad Apple music video. Which, if you guys have never seen that before, I definitely 100% recommend it. I know it's a meme. I know it's like a major meme, and it's like you got to be living under a rock to like not know this one. But who knows? I feel like there might be folks that haven't seen it yet. So it's a Toho video, but it plays around with like the whole concept of like positive and negative space. Bad Apple, no. You don't like Bad Apple? I love Bad Apple. I think Bad Apple is also a really good testament to the character designs for Toho. Because, like, a lot of the characters are very recognizable. Like, Ramelia, like, Flandre. But yeah, so, like, it plays around with this idea of, like, what is positive, what is... It's like the Rob Gonsalves one. Like, what's the positive space, what's the negative space, right? It constantly alternates between the two, which is just really cool. But the reason why I bring up like silhouette is that like a lot of like, especially with like the VTuber sphere, people will tell you that like a good silhouette means that like you have a good character design. And it's true. I would say that it's true, right? But the same can be said in art as well. I was actually watching a video to kind of help me like make this lesson, and they used a screenshot from Ponyo, from Ghibli's Ponyo. And like the way that it was, I can't pull up the screenshot, but it had a good silhouette. Like, you could see very clearly what was the subject and what was the background. Yeah, recognizable at a glance. True. You know, Hatsune Miku has a really good silhouette. Like, if you have a good design, it's a good silhouette. So yeah, think about that if you're like either creating art, or if you have like an OC and you want them to stand out, or if you are a VTuber or wish to become a VTuber, like silhouette. Okay, I'm trying to remember. Wait, what's after this? Rule of thirds. Okay, not too much. I'm gonna take a little sippy of my water though. Oh my god, Mega Bronson, yes. the who's that Pokemon? It's Pikachu. But like, I remember this one because it was like a kids WB commercial. Wait, I think let's try to look for it. We circle back to Pokemon. Who's that Pokemon? And it was like a oh my god, I think I found it. I think I found the exact commercial. Alright. Pause the music. It's this one. Oh, it's not a commercial. It's actually from... It's not necessarily a commercial, but I remember like the commercial for this and being like, oh, come on. Freehand monster design relies on so much silhouette. Yeah, exactly. It's coffee. Fuck. This is the clip I was like, yeah. This one is like embedded in my head. I thought it was a commercial because like, doesn't like the Voltorb and the Pokeball look so like very obviously edited in? Right? But I think that was just the quality. I think that's just the quality of the time. As was the style at the time. It's Pikachu! But yeah, okay. Speaking of composition, I could have composed this a little bit better actually. The lack of space here is bugging me. Anyway. Composition. So there's another music. Actually, I might want to change the music. I've been really addicted to a band called Millie. There we go. They've done a couple of anime openings. Like, I think they did the Goblin Slayer opening, but I just really like their voice. Yeah, Millie. Man, I've been listening to so... You know what? I'm just gonna play the one that I've been listening to, like, so much. Do they have Iron Lotus on here? There we go. Okay. So, composition. Composition is just like... Let's say that you have all of these elements in your artwork. Now the question is like, how do you actually put it on the page, right? Like, let's take an example. This is from the Randon art guidebook, by the way. Let's say that you want to draw Randon with Orby and Schmoop, right? How do you put that on the page? In this case, I put it where like, oh, Randon is the center, and then on either side he has like Orby and Schmoop, right? But you could also easily do it so that like, you know, there's a intense close-up, right? And in the background is Randon, and like over here in the corner is Schmoop, right? So there's like an infinite amount of ways that you can put all those elements on the paper. But if you want to also like put a certain feeling into it, or if you want to like lead your viewer's eye in a certain way, then you think of composition. That's what composition is. I keep on talking about this in the point of view of like an artist creating the artwork, but you can also, these are also things that you could just like see in other people's artwork that you can comment on if you're ever like stumped. Instead of being like, oh, it's so beautiful, you could be like, oh, I like the composition and how it leads the eye, right? Yeah, camera and scene work. I actually borrowed a lot of this from like camera work. Let me triangle composition in most of my work. Yeah. So that's the big thing. So we'll start with that. So symmetrical or triangle composition, that's what this is. So like if you look at Randon, Orby, and Schmoop, they make a triangle. But this is also kind of symmetrical in a way because you have the two hands, they're both holding things, and Randon's face is symmetrical. I think I told this story before, but I took a illustration course a couple of years back, like during the pandemic. I mean, the Panera Bread. And my professor hated symmetrical compositions. He was like, do not do an illustration with symmetrical composition. Like I don't want it to be symmetrical. He hated it. So I'm a golden ratio. Ooh, yeah. We'll touch on the golden ratio. Profs do hate that. Yeah. I think it's very much similar to like the art teachers that don't like anime style, and it's not necessarily because they hate anime, though some might. It's one of those things of like, you know, you have to learn the basics before you can learn how to break those basics, right? Before you learn the rules so that you can break them in an effective way. Golden Horatio. The reason why my illustration professor didn't like symmetrical, I don't think he legitimately hated it. I think it's because he saw it as like easy mode, right? Where it's like, you don't want to like do this because like it's a very safe composition, and that's not meant to be shade to anyone that actually does this, right? Like, because if you do use it, it does have a purpose, and it's to like show something that's very like harmonious, balance, but it could also be like authoritative. Like if you want to draw like a picture of like a judge, right, you would use something symmetrical or triangular because it shows authority, right? And the professor, like I said, I don't think he legitimately hated it. It's just that like you need to learn how to do more dynamic composition, really. But like otherwise, if that's the vibe you're going for, something like really authoritative, really like balance the status quo, then use it. I think it's like it's a really effective like composition to use. This isn't Millie. Okay, we'll go back here. Actually, let me look for another song I want to listen to. Here we go, this one. Mine too, Mr. Counts would make you start over if you made something symmetrical or centered. Yeah, exactly. And like I said, it's not like, I don't think they legitimately hate it. It's more of like, they want you to experiment with other types. You ever watch breakdowns of the end scene framing and the good, the bad, and the ugly? I haven't, but that does remind me of what's that one channel that recently uploaded Every Frame a Painting? Because like I said, a lot of this I kind of borrowed from like camera work as well from films. I don't have experience with that, but I've just seen examples of it from various films, right? So that's another thing is like wide shot and close up. You see these in movies as well, but like if you want a work, or if you observe a work that has this type of composition, it's supposed to give a little bit more emphasis on the environment, not so much on the person, but it can emphasize a person in terms of like feeling isolated, right? Feeling like this example right here is based off a meme. It's based off the meme with the horse like at the ocean. That's why it says like man. But even if I took that out and it wasn't a reference to a meme, then Orby over here would be looking very isolated, right? They're kind of just looking out like into the ocean. If you do like a really like extra wide shot, then it's like, oh, the subject is like insignificant at this point. Usually it's to show like the majesty of like, you know, the background, the nature, all of that stuff. Means you know a lot about movie frames. He is in class right now. He's taking some pretty cool classes this semester too. I will ask him. Conversely, is that the right word? Like, in contrast, if you have a shot that's like a close-up, both in film and in like artwork, it's a little bit more tense. It's a little bit more like, you know, stressful. Because, like, you want to imagine that it's like a person is like nose to nose with you, snout to snout, snoot to snoot with you, right? It's a little tense. Either that or very intimate, right? If you see this in movies, if you see like a like super close up, the emphasis is on their emotions, on like what the actor is trying to portray, right? So if you see an artwork that is like a super close up shot, most likely it's trying to like show you a certain emotion, or it's trying to give you a certain tension, or maybe even intimacy. More so tension, but yeah, tension. And then finally, there's S shape. So this is like I drew Orby in a winding road and he's running away. He has his little like satchel over here, right? But the whole thing with like an S shape composition is that it's supposed to make your eye move, right? So sometimes like you actually see this in manga a lot. A really good manga panelist or like author will have you like move your eye in a very effective way. And that's not something you usually notice unless it's done bad. Like it's one of those things that like you never really realize until you see it done badly. I can't think of a manga off the top of my head that does it really badly, but certain actually we can no we can't. I was gonna say like we can go back to the when I went over Akira Toriyama, the author of Dragon Ball Z, rest in peace, you know. He's really good with his paneling to make your eye flow from one panel to the next. So it's like that in a piece of artwork too. Like, does the artwork make your eye go from one place to the other? So yeah. Alright, we have one more slide. And then we're going to look at other examples of artwork. And we're going to try out all of these like things that we learned. Okay, I just stole this off Wikipedia. Orb with a threatening aura. It's true. It's true. Look, see? Dun 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 dun. Is the music a little bit loud? It's starting to be a little loud in my ear. I'm gonna lower it just a smidge. Need an Orby with a dolly zoom effect. Oh my, is that the one from like what's the name of that effect that they have in Jaws where like that's the dolly zoom, right? Where like there's a guy who's like you see his face but then they like zoom out, but it also changes his proportions. Cause that's just what like yes, okay. Yeah. Okay, last slide before we get into like other artists. The rule of thirds. The background seems to zoom without them. Yes, exactly. How would that look with Orby, actually? That's actually like an interesting thing to think about. Okie doke. So let's say that you are either an artist making your art, or you are an art appreciator and you don't know what to say. One of the first things that you can narrow in on is, do they follow the rule of thirds? Or if you're an artist, like there's a good cheat, I guess, or a good rule of thumb is the rule of thirds. What it is as you can see in this GIF that I stole from Wikipedia, you just put two lines. They should be equidistant from each other, like equally distanced from each other, horizontal and vertical. All right. Actually, if you have a phone and a phone camera, if you actually bring it up right now, I don't know if Samsung does this, but I know that Apple does. By default, it should have those lines on, right? That's actually it's a way to help you with the rule of thirds, especially if you're taking a picture. So go ahead and try to. I think the lines are on by default, but I don't know. But the point of that, ooh, hello. Annoyed Apricot, hello. Welcome. Thank you for the raid. How you doing? Welcome. Thanks for the raid. What were you streaming? Let's see if we can give you a shout out. Do you mind, Matthew, giving them a shout out? I'll say hi to everybody. You join in just in time. We're talking about art. Oh, we got our follower goal of 310 followers. Nice. Thank you. So let's see. Hello, BNKN62. Hello, Sun Tallulah. Beautiful name. Hello, Annoyed Apricot. Dreamy. Hello. Aros. Hello. What are you guys doing? Oh, art. Yippee. It's funny that you were doing art because we're talking about art. We're talking about we're talking about the last place uncorrupted by capitalism. Space. Hello, Solatile? Let me know how to pronounce that. We definitely did art. Nice. So hello everyone, I'm BINKA Bear, your local sun bear and art history teacher. I got rotated! Yeah. When we're talking about space in art and how to use space, so I'm not good at doing that, but yeah, we're doing a little bit of an art history lesson to do a little bit of a recap so far. So yeah, we're talking about space. We're talking about stuff like you flooded the classroom, Matthew. Oh no. Swimming practice, everybody. Oh no. Get your water wings out. Get your water wings. We're drowning. It's okay. You guys are very soluble. It's okay. You guys aren't drowning. We're talking about space. We're talking about stuff like foreground, midground, background, negative space, positive space. Are you a minimalist with space? A maximalist? We asked if you guys prefer like having some breathing room. Some breathing room in between like your subjects, or if you like the horror vacui of like everything in a space being filled. There's also a duck. With the word water. Yeah. It's a new redeem, but it can only be done once per stream. But yeah, you guys are in the water. It was the water is for me to have my summer outfit, but I'm gonna stay in the spacesuit. Because it's very thematic, right? It's very thematic. Swim. Yeah, you guys can swim and or melt. It's either way is fine. We talked about silhouette, and then we talked about composition. So we're actually at the tail end, but we're actually going to be looking at a couple of artists as well. But before we move on to that, once again, thank you for the raid, Annoyed Apricot. If you have to raid and run, I completely get it. I completely understand streaming can be very tiring. So feel free to get some food, get some rest. And then same goes for your followers as well, for your chat members. If any of you guys got to raid and run, no worries. But we're glad to have you here. Welcome. So yeah, we were just talking about the rule of thirds. If you open up your phone camera, most likely there are going to be these lines here. And it's because if you take a picture or you create an artwork or you're observing an artwork and it's like your subject is aligned to any of those intersection points, it creates interest. Shippuden opening 16 plays. What's Shippuden opening 16? I haven't caught up yet. We're still on distance. By the way, for those that missed it, me and Beans, we're marathoning Naruto. We finally got to Shippuden. We got to, you are my friend. We met Sai, we met Yamato. Good times are to be had. But we haven't gotten to opening 16 yet. Yeah, the rule of thirds. So if your subject is at this intersection, then it creates interest, maybe a little bit of tension as well. And then I put here as kind of a cop-out. It's because I just finished this presentation like 30 minutes before the stream started. I wanted to talk about the golden ratio, but I just was too lazy. But what the golden ratio is basically, if you watch Steel Ball, or if you read JoJo Part 7 Steel Ball Run, it also explains it, but it's basically this ratio that occurs in nature. Okay, let's see if I can remember, if I can just like talk about it off the noggin, but like if you've ever seen like a nautilus shell or just a lot of like organic stuff like leaves and trees and stuff, they follow this ratio. It's stuff like the Fibonacci sequence and all that stuff, but it also applies to art in that like if you arrange your art in a way that follows the sequence, the spiral sequence, it also makes for a very interesting composition. It like adds like, it's like the rule of thirds. It adds interest and it adds tension, and you kind of want the subject to be in that intersection. I watched a lot of Shippuden, but I forgot almost all of it. Oh man, I I read a little bit of the manga back when it was first coming out, like back when I was in middle school. And then I kind of just lost interest and I became a very like elitist. like oh, Naruto and like Bleach, those are for normies, you know? And then now as like a young 30-something-year-old, I'm like going back to these animes and mangas and being like, actually, this is kind of peak. Like, actually, this is great. I just read the manga. Shippuden has so much filler. Oh, we're skipping the filler. We're skipping as much filler as we can. Gosh darn sunflowers. Junji Ito has something to say about spirals. Oh yeah, I love Uzumaki. Uzumaki, Naruto. Am I right, fellas? It is exactly the Fibonacci sequence. Yeah. Bleach is still for normies. I watched the 100-Year Blood... What is it? 100-Year Blood War? That was so good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Isn't the Uzumaki anime coming out soon? Yeah, the one for Adult Swim, right? Oh, this is the Goblin Slayer opening. I remember liking the opening. Yeah, I think it's coming out soon. I really like the manga. I want to say that's one of the first horror manga I ever read. Also in middle school, I want to say. Or high school. But yeah, so that's the rule of thirds. That's the golden rate. That's like... a beginner intro to golden ratio. Because my voice is starting to give out just a teensy bit, I'm 40 and circling back to elitist again. Oh man, I think it is just a cycle at this point. Because I did go through, like, my anime arc was definitely like, you know, get into everyone's first animes. For me it was like Digimon, Pokemon, Sailor Moon, Naruto, Bleach in middle school, and then you get into the like, oh, I watch seasonal anime now. Like I watch, like, it's better than like the mainstream stuff, right? And then I circle back to like watching the mainstream stuff and being like, actually there's a reason why this is so popular, right? It's a reason why it's so successful, because it's good, because I like it. But I could also see myself circling back into like, actually I only read Oyasumi Pun Pun, and I only watch Bokura no and Narutaru and Kaiba, and I'm trying to think of like everything else that like. But then again, like, anime culture is circling back to like, did you guys see that tweet that was like, how come no one's talking about Haruhi? like the melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya, and it's like, it was super popular back in the day. You just missed the bus on it. But yeah. Let's look at some artists, shall we? Let's look at some artists that use space in an interesting way. So I believe it was Reddy's Lab that recommended the next two artists to me, and I checked them out for the first time on stream, and they were really interesting. The first one, Seb McKinnon. I don't know. I didn't do a lot of research into the artist. I just looked at their art and really liked it. You missed it by 15 years. I love me too. I love Haruhi, the Haruhi movie. I also love that one. I wasn't okay when what is it? Endless? Is it Endless 8 or Endless 9? I forgot the name of the arc, but I think oh no, this is gonna be embarrassing to admit, but back during those days, it's around the same time as Code Geass, right? Because Code Geass was one of the first times I was obsessed with an anime, to the point where I started going on 4chan. I like went on 4chan because like I wanted to like see what people were saying about it, and I wanted to like see where people were watching like the Japanese like unsubbed version. So, but around that time, I believe Endless 8 was happening. And I remember seeing the threads about Endless 8 and being like, I'm not touching that. I'm not gonna watch that. I'm not gonna watch the same episode 8 times. So I think I only ended up watching like one of the like 2 of those episodes and then kept moving on. So like perhaps that isn't the proper way to watch it. Like, because it seems like they really want you to feel what Kyo was going through. To feel the, you know, the repetitive of it all. Kogias really blew up the anime scene. Yeah. I got shamed for thinking Haruhi was cool because the episodes were aired out of order. I never... Oh, no. I thought that was cool, too. It's a cool, like, just meta thing, isn't it? Haruhi Endless 9 Umineko. Oh, yeah. Endless 9 is one of the songs, isn't it? From Umineko. I'm like, where did I get Endless 9 from? It was infuriating. I just remember like looking at there was a catalog back then, right? Like I remember looking at the catalog and being like, I'm not touching that. I'm not. I'm gonna stay here in my dumb like Code Geass hole. But yeah. So this artist, Seb McKinnon, I just chose some artworks that I really like from them. They So I'm getting a text message from Beans. Oh, he's gonna finish in an hour. Cool. I should eat soon. So yeah, just looking at like how they use space here. They have like this figure that's very like looks like a fairy in a way. But I think what I liked here is the use of like the halo. Because it could easily be like, oh, it's the halo of like this figure, right? But it almost looks like she is doubling as the halo for this like Dark Knight figure. The anime being aired out of order was so good. Yeah, I kind of thought that was really neat, to be honest. So there's Seb McKinnon. I would talk a little bit more, but I do feel my voice starting to go. I'm still recovering from the plague. So we're gonna move on a little bit faster. But feel free, like, if there's anything that you guys notice that's really cool about any of these artists that I'm going to show, feel free. Victor Brigade is another one that I believe Reddy's Lab recommended. And they definitely... Okay, so this artist looked like they... I don't know if I'm correct in assuming this, but it reminds me a lot of Salvador Dali's work. Like, the thing that we were looking at the very beginning. Let's go back all the way to the beginning. Reddy's Lab. Aren't you guys friends? They're pretty cool. I would say they're pretty cool. But yeah, look at Dali's work, and then let's go back to Victor Brigada. Like it has this same sense of like surrealism, like with these kind of empty landscapes. But they also play with space in a way that like, look, this is clearly meant to be like a clock, right? Like you have here like two people standing, but they also have their shadows and they're kind of encircled here. So it kind of looks like it's what would this be? Maybe 15? Teacher can't tell time on an analog clock. Wait, what? An ad? It's already been another hour? Dang. Okay, so an ad is gonna start within the next minute, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll be back and we'll be looking at a couple more artists. And actually, that gives me an opportunity to save my voice. Now that I'm not in a raid, Haruhi, he was so annoying because it was like, oh wow, season 2 is finally out. And then it's 8 episodes that were almost identical. Oh no. Wait, was that really the start of the second season? I actually forgot. Man. Ready Slab and Herge Chungus. But yeah, so that's a really interesting use of space. Same here. This one, for some, it really reminds me of like Dali's work, where he would use he had like a muse. Like Dali had like I think his like partner or something. Like he would constantly be painting her, and sometimes it's like kind of illusory in a way. So kind of like this. All right, I think the ad is gonna start soon. Instead of going to the we could go to the PE field. Let's go to the PE field. Actually, is the ad gonna start soon? I don't know if it is. All right, let's go to the PE field. All right, guys. Let me. Should I force the ad right now? I don't think it was snoozed. I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. All the cars we can eat. Oh no. I'm gonna take a little bit of a voice break and I'm gonna get a little bit more water. So I'm hoping the ad is gonna play during. Oh nope, here it is. Okay. So I'll be back. But you guys chill here in the parking lot. Okay, I'm back. I was gonna go to the kitchen and get something to eat, but I realized that would have meant like talking to family members, and I'm trying to save my voice, right? I'm trying to save it. But Beans had mixed nuts on his desk. I'm eating it. That's a lot of nuts. Okay, we're kind of at the tail end of things. Because once I'm done, I think I'm just gonna go over like the schedule for the rest of the week, including my 1-year anniversary. Woo! Oh, of streaming. That's coming up next Monday. So yeah. But let's go ahead and finish things off, shall we? So we're gonna keep on looking at some artists, including my favorite. You guys like the? You guys know the It's Kung Pao, right? If you guys don't know the movie Kung Pao, you should check it out. It's like one of those like early 2000s like parody movies, but it's like a parody of like Chinese kung fu movies that were dubbed over. It's Kung Pao, right? Or am I thinking of? There's Kung Pao and there's Kung Fu Hustle. I think Kung Pao is the one that's like dubbed like very strangely. And then that's the one that has the scene that's like, that's a lot of nuts. And then Kung Fu Hustle is the one with the auntie, right? That like knows Kung Fu. Yeah, Kung Pao. Okay, cool. I loved both of those movies as a kid. Like, the Gopher Chugs. I'm so sad we never got a sequel to the film. They were really, wait, were they really trying? They had one of those like kind of fake out sequels, didn't they? Stephen Chow's Hustle. Ah, okay, yeah. Neo. Sporin. And then the name of the villain was like, I'm Betty. And then there was, oh my god, there was the chick, the woman who like every time she like cried, it sounded terrible. It was like, wee wee wee. Wait, I gotta wee wee wee. I no longer wish to be called Master Pain. Is that the one where he gets kicked in the groin? We used to go around college campus going, wee wee wee. There was one on Twitter the other day that was like the best like line delivery, and it's like the main character grabbing the female love interest, and he's obviously yelling, right? But because of the dub, it just says, I implore you to reconsider. Yeah, exactly. Goji Kid's like, I implore you to reconsider. It's like so calm. Okay. You will now all address me as Betty. And oh my god, maybe that's like a watch along. Well, we're gonna have the Digimon watch along tomorrow, but one of these days we should do a Kung Pao watch along. Now there's two birds. Whoa. My favorite is, but Black Dynamite, I sold drugs to the community. Okay, I'm gonna swear one time. This is one time because, was it Black Dynamite that did the... where he like throws a boomerang and then like the next scene it comes back? Oh no, you don't even see it. Wait, do you even see him like throwing the boomerang? I just remember like he walks in and he's like, someone gets hit with a boomerang and he's like, I threw that shit before I walked in the room. Yeah. That was so funny. Yeah. Did we even like see him throw the boomerang? Because I just remember there's a character that gets hit with a boomerang. That had me dying. That and like the boom mic. That scene like had me dying. Beans and I quoted during Overwatch. One cuss is a treat. It's true. Born, no. Oh, okay. My voice is going. I shouldn't be laughing so hard. My voice is going. It's going. Okay, let's end off with we have how many artists did I put here? Okay, not too many. So Rob Gonzalez, one of my favorites. We talked about him early on, but he's one of my favorites because like not only does he have like a he plays around with like the whole like negative and positive space thing. You see it more here, quite literally with space. Quite literally. Because it's like, oh, this girl is chilling in like a lake, right? And you see like the reflection up here, and then you see the sky, right? Framed by like the mountains. So you have that, but then it transitions into space, the last place uncorrupted by capitalism. And this like rock over here, what could be a rock, has now become like the moon. So it's just really cool just playing around with like positive and negative space, right? Same here. This one, not so much. Well, yeah, it kind of is actually, because like, are these actual like celestial bodies or are they holes cut in by the woman, right? I think it's really neat. So there's that. But I think for me, there's also like a storybook quality to it that makes it very nostalgic. Even if you've never seen it before, it reminds me of like something that you'd see in like a English literature textbook from the 90s or the 2000s. That's one of the reasons why he's definitely one of my favorites. And he actually does have like some story. I don't know if they're like storybooks, but I did buy them. I just didn't read them yet. And maybe one of these days I'll do a if I ever get around to doing like membership streams or anything, like subscription streams or whatever, members only, or maybe Discord only, I'll do a story time with you guys. If you guys are okay with that. If that's a little too kiddie, a little too infantilizing, I understand, but But I have some books I've been wanting to show people. So, yeah, maybe we'll have story time on Discord. Not like stories from me, like quite literally we're gonna read a book together. A picture book. And have you ever watched The Hero Yoshihiko? I recommend it to Random, but I don't think he watched it. I'll check it out. Is it similar to like what we were talking about, like Kung Pao and like Black Dynamite? Or is it kind of just like interesting in general? I'm down. Find picture of Timber Hearth. Excuse me. I'm sorry if the coughing is like super loud, by the way. Sometimes it just like happens. MC Escher. DJ Escher. So he's like the quintessential like playing around with negative positive space. Your stick is all good. Oh, thank you. Thank you. It's just generally funny. I'm down. I'm down. Mother effing Escher. This is like the quintessential like kind of illusion illustration guy. Because this is an excellent example of what we talked about with Gonsalves, right? Look at these burbs. And then the background is white, right? But then once you get to this like transition point, then the black becomes the background and the white becomes these fishies. They become the positive space. But he also plays around with like, you know, architecture. And is he an architect? I actually forgot. It would make sense with these drawings, right? That he's like an architect. Yeah, he's another like quintessential like playing with space type of guy. Yeah, impossible spaces. It's true. It's true. He's the guy. He's the guy. And then our last artist that we'll be covering before we start wrapping things up is also another one of my favorites, Yayoi Kusama. I know I ran out of water. Give me a second. Oh, but if I go get water, I'm gonna have to talk to my relatives. Not that I dislike talking to them, but I just want to save on my voice. Okay, I still have water in my flask. It's just that the straw wasn't reaching it. Okay, we're almost at the finish line. Yoshihiko is like a fantasy wuxia parody. Ah, okay. I'm down. So speaking of impossible spaces, we have the infinity spaces, or I guess infinity rooms is what she calls them, but Yayoi Kusama is like she's known for, she's a contemporary artist. She's still alive. I think she's like 95 years old. But she's known for these like infinity room art pieces where it's actually like a small room, but they're covered in mirrors. So it makes it seem like it goes out to infinity. And there's lots of people who like, at least back like a couple of years back, like during the late 2010s, people would go to museums that have this and they would take pictures. They would take like selfies and it would be like you repeating infinitely, right? Exactly, Gojikin. So like it can make use of mirrors can make any room feel larger. Yeah. Like my apartment. Like I have like the kind of apartment where like the closet has a mirror on it. It's like a rolling like closet thing. Or a rolling door. And it makes the room seem bigger even though it actually isn't bigger. But yeah, so that's another way to play with space, kind of like more in the 3D sense of things, like using mirrors. Because like and another thing is she's a big fan of polka dots. From what I've heard about her story, she actually does have like mental health conditions. Like I think from what I heard, like some kind of like hallucinations and psychosis, but like it also kind of I don't want to say helps, but like it also like contributes to her art as well. Because it lets her hyperfixate on like doing these like rows of polka dots. There's like these rows of polka dots that she can kind of like fixate on like creating, and it seems like very effortless for her to do it. So that pattern, you know, we were talking about texture a couple weeks ago. that texture plus like all the mirrors, they really contribute to this idea of like infinity, right? Using space to create infinity. Didn't they do that in palaces as well to make it seem more opulent? Massive mirror at one side of the room. That makes sense. It reminds me of what game had that? Paper Mario. Paper Mario had that too, but I think you could actually go into the mirror. It was like a tricky. There was like a world in Paper Mario that like made use of mirrors, and it was really cool. But yeah. All right, and that's it. Those are the artists that I wanted to show off. And that's all, folks. So, as always, think about how space and composition are used in different types of art and how you can incorporate them in your own art. So, just as a review, we all wish to go into the mirror. Just like that one JoJo chapter. So yeah, just to review everything. We looked at these artists. We talked about the rule of thirds. Talking about composition, silhouettes. The Darkwing Duck, you know, the battle duck. Negative, positive space, and then a little bit of surrealism. And y'all, that's pretty much it for the for this whole series. This very long-running art history or art appreciation series where I go over ways that you guys can appreciate art more. So the next time you guys look at a piece of art and you don't know what to say about it, just remember all the things that we went over. So we went over lines and shapes. You know, you could talk about how like you really like the wavy lines or the straight lines in the art piece. You could talk about forms like 3D shapes. You could talk about the medium. You could talk about like the light and dark in anything. You could talk about the colors in it. You could talk about like the color schemes. You could talk about the texture. And now we talked about space. So now you have all of these tools in your toolkit. So that the next time you look at an art piece, you have some things to say about it. One question, sorry if this sounds silly, but is there neutral space? That's a really good question. I'm actually not 100% sure. I would say that paintings like, you know, Rob Gonsalves's work, they would play around with that idea of like a neutral space, right? Because like if you look at, you know, this is where the positive and negative have been reversed. I would say that right in the middle is kind of like probably where, like if there was such a thing as neutral space, that's where it would be. It's kind of like when you like, you guys know those old like Animorphs books? Like where it's like a person morphing into an animal? I want to say that like the midpoint of that would be considered probably like the neutral space, right? Just stare blankly and disassociate. Got it. Oh no. I heard a positive and negative space, but it just came to... No, that's a great question, actually. I myself don't know, but I'll tell you what I always tell my students when at work when I'm never sure is like it's something that we can research together. Like, even though I work in education, I never want to like give this impression that like, you know, teachers know everything, right? I just know a lot about what I hyperfixate on. But ask me about cars and suddenly I don't know nothing. But this is always like a good opportunity to research, right? And that's what I love, is that like if you're into something, research it. Like look more into it. So, you know, now my assignment now is to look into like, oh, is neutral space a thing? I just Googled it. The term neutral space can have multiple meanings, including a space with no distinctive characteristics. A space that feels like a relationship. Oh, that's getting deep. That's getting deep. Never heard of the Animorphs books? Are you just fibbing, or are you es verdad? Es verdad? I'll say so much smart stuff they'll never notice what a midwit I am. That's my secret, Clyde. That's what I do. Like I think about how like Akashi has he always says that I'm like the smartest person that he knows, and I feel like a fraud when he says that, because I'm like, I'm not. The thing is, like, I just know my hyperfixations, and I know how to get things to relate to my hyperfixations. That's my secret. is that like I know a lot about Egyptian mythology and Greek mythology and art history and what else? Hieronymus Bosch. I didn't put Hieronymus Bosch in. Oh my god, I'm a fake art historian. But I know a lot about those things, and my cheat is to just find a way to like relate it to those things, right? Like people will be talking about cars and I won't know anything about cars, but I'll be like, "Oh, like the shape of this Nissan Altima Honda like really reminds me of this shape that I saw in this Hieronymus Bosch painting." I don't know, something, some BS like that, right? That's how I keep up the illusion that I'm smart, but in reality, I am just a simple bear. I go poop in the woods. I don't poop in the woods. Please don't spread that as propaganda. But I poop in a toilet just like everyone else. You know? Ooh, Saku, hello. Yeah, you're still alive. I just got home. We actually are gonna end soon. My voice is going. I'm a civilized bear. I am a civilized bear. Look at my spacesuit. How many times have you seen a bear in a spacesuit? Call me Ursa Major. If ever someone calls me the smartest person they know, my only option is to apologize. I'm so sorry. You can fit so many bird people in this car. Smacks top of car. You can fit so many Hieronymus Bosch bird people in here. It's okay, I got my sticker. Yeah. Dude has a deity as name. Oh, Hieronymus Bosch. Yeah, he's my favorite. Okay, guys. You guys are going to get tested on all of this, by the way. All the stuff that we went over. The lines, the shapes, the forms, the value, the colors, the texture, the space. You're going to get tested on it. Not really. but the next time I have like an art appreciation stream, you feel free to use any of these tools in the toolkit. All right? You're not going to get tested. You guys aren't going to get tested. But I just hope that like I will be sick on test day. Oh no. No. It's just I hope this helps. As one of my favorite sayings is from The Simpsons, even though I never saw the episode, but apparently the teacher, Miss Krabappel, her quote is as long as one student learns one thing, it'll have been a good day. So as long as one of you guys, at least one of you guys, learned one thing today, then it'll have been a good stream. All right? Okay. So, last couple things before we end. My schedule for the rest of the week is basically my schedule. What was supposed to be my schedule for last week, but then I got the COVID-19, right? But now that I'm mostly recovered, we're going to just continue from where we left off. So, tomorrow on my Discord is the Digimon, not Digimon the movie, but two of the Digimon movies. So, Digimon Pilot and Digimon Our War Game. It's the watch along. So we're gonna watch those movies tomorrow, 6:30 PST, my usual time. Then after that is already Saturday. Where did the week go? Oh yeah, it was sick. So Saturday morning, what did I say? I think tarot readings. Saturday evening, I gotta talk this over with Mega Bronson and Beans again, but I'm hoping that they're still down for a raft collab. Woo! We're back, baby. We're back on the raft, especially with the flooded classroom. We might need it. So, so yeah, that is the plan for the week. Next week, I'm still making the rest of the week schedule, but next Monday is my first streaming or first year. 1 year streaming anniversary. 1 year ago, I started streaming as BINKA Bear, so that's my first anniversary. So we're gonna celebrate. For now, all that's on the docket is I have a magma board. If you're part of the Discord, you guys get early access to the magma board. It's food themed, so I'm treating it kind of like a potluck. But instead of bringing food, you can draw food. And it doesn't have to be super detailed. If you're not super, like, confident in your art skills, that's fine. You could draw, like, a bunch of little, like, gray circles and call it rice and call it a day. I am super okay with that. But yeah, so you don't have to do that before the Monday stream, but we are gonna do it during the Monday stream, and I'll leave the magma board open for at least a week after, just so people have time to contribute if they want to. I was thinking, like, if no one contributes, like, I will be like a little bit sad, but like, but I can also just draw my own food. But yeah, so there's that. I might watch my first stream with you guys, but the thing is, like, I rewatched it recently, and I'm like, low-key, this is kind of boring. Like, it was, because it's not like a debut stream. Like, it wasn't me sharing things about myself. It was a drawing stream, and it was like my first time streaming. So it was just like me being like, okay, we're gonna draw this little bear, and like, but maybe we'll still watch it. Maybe I'll have other ideas in mind, but for now, that's on the docket for my first year anniversary stream. Woo! I'm so angry at how good Randon's first apple was. I know. Like, whenever he draws like birds or like anything like that, I'm like, oh my god, how are you doing this good with like MS Paint and mouse? That's so cute. It was your first time. Yeah, you gave me the idea. Owen, and I thank you for that. So I do think like we are gonna end up doing that. But just heads up, when I was like watching it myself, I was like, I definitely need to like be doing something else. Like, we can't just be like watching it. Obviously, I'm gonna like commentate, because I was like, I don't know. I feel like people are gonna see this as like really boring. So, but I was also watching it to make sure I didn't accidentally dox myself, because it was my first stream. Because there are a couple of early streams where like I accident, like, you know, when I tell a story, I'll be like, oh, but BINKA, how are you doing? Blah blah blah. There are a couple of early streams where I accidentally said my like actual name. I mean my human name when I go out and disguise myself as a human. Don't try to look for those clips, by the way, because I edited them all out. But yeah. So that's what's on the docket. So once again, tomorrow, Digimon on the Discord. And then Saturday morning, Tarot. Saturday evening, Raft. And then Monday evening, 6:30 is anniversary stream. Woo! Always gotta scrub. I don't want no scrub. Scrub is a guy can't get no love from me. But with that, let's oh wait. Okay. I was thinking of like what to mosh to today. And I was like, how about instead of mosh, I wanted something space themed, because, you know, the topic of today was space. Glad to have you return and feeling better. Thank you, Saku. I missed watching everyone's streams. I miss hanging out with everybody. I missed everybody. Thank you. So instead of moshing, we're gonna rave. So go ahead, don't party too hard. But I was thinking of something space themed, and I was thinking of the music video for Porter Robinson's Shelter. We're not gonna actually watch it because it's 6 minutes long, but I really like this song. It used to make me cry all the time. I cry every time. Let's open up this space. Astro Girl, you're right. Okay, next time. I love Astro Girl. I miss her. I miss Sana. I literally just asked my mechanics who Porter Robinson was. I was really into Porter Robinson back in like the late 2010s. Man, we're gonna rave today. We're gonna rave. First thing I thought of was that Markiplier Space remix song. I'm not familiar, but then again, I didn't watch a lot of Markiplier, but I'd be down to check it out. All right, for any newbies that have never done a in this case a rave, instead of a mosh pit, it's a rave today. You just pick an emote and spam it. And then we also have a mosh pit redeem. I'm getting rotated. Well, thank you. But yeah, you can pick an emote, and then we also have our redeem where, I mean, not redeem, our chat thingy where you guys can fight each other, but it's RNG. So when you guys hear the music, go ahead and start raving and rant and just getting the glow sticks ready. Yeah. All right. We're not watching the music video. We're just listening to the song. But you guys should check out the music video. Nah, you know what? We are gonna... Oh my god, the first time I saw that music video, I cried. I cried. Totally wasn't because I was also balancing my master's degree and a job and like a Filipino org and leadership and all of that. I was also in a hip hop dance that used this song. It was so, I loved it. All right, guys, it was a real good short. Now to check out our anime and see what did they not like it? What the heck? Okay, who are we rating into? I could have used all that time to like decide who to rate into, but I was also just like all up in the feels. I was like rewatching it. Now I think I know who I have in mind. Imagine being organized and Filipino. It's true. It's more likely than you think. It was considered not anime and all discussion of it was bad. Really? Oh my gosh. Might I just MK fatality BB. Porter Robinson is not a citizen of Nihongo. Oh my gosh. Alright, I think that's where we're gonna end it off then. It's hard out here. Aww. Alright, guys. I think we're gonna raid into a fellow bear. Their name is Sucrose Collision. She's got a really cute design, and she's currently playing Pokemon Black and White since, you know, we made some Pokemon mentions today. So once again, we hope to see you guys for Digimon tomorrow. And if not, then we'll see you guys Saturday morning, PT, for some tarot card readings. Woo! It's good to be back, y'all. It's good to be back. So let's go ahead and start the raid. Have a good morning, afternoon, or evening. And as always, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning into this this educational series. Well, thank you. Alright, I'm sending you guys off. Bye-bye!